bought all of the most viral sneaker trends from the internet to see if any of them are actually worth it. So going from viral to these are taking over the internet. First up, we have the hiking derby with 500,000 to 1 million views. Now this one's definitely the most niche on the list. It emerged kind of based off of two different big fashion trends going on right now, gorpcore and quiet luxury. Those two blended together created these things. The idea is pretty simple. It takes a standard derby shoe and just makes it a lot more, I guess, hiking orientated. So the main features are going to be the giant metal eye stays that you see running down the top, and usually they have a big chunky midsole and outsole. And the weird thing about this trend is I couldn't really find one brand that everybody was kind of going for. It seems pretty spread out between a lot of the other brands that are kind of offering this style of shoe. I mean, even the Puma Skepta collaboration takes a lot from this silhouette. This trend can be pretty expensive. Most of the shoes I found were ranging between $200 to $300. Now I picked up a super cheap pair from ASOS because I'm trying to test out the trends, not break the bank. Either way, speaking of testing, let's try these things on. Hiking derbies. This one's gonna be a strange one because they're kind of like smart, but also a little bit more casual. Definitely something that's out of my comfort zone in terms of what I typically wear. So let's see what this trend is all about and if it's actually worth it. So I think the best pants to try this on with is something that at least, you know, it kind of has a pleat in it. They're not proper pleated pants, but they look a little bit more smart than a pair of jeans. Now, I also did get the freaking pony hair version, which I don't think I would have, but this was the only one that they had, so there's that. They're certainly not the most comfortable shoes I've put on. Well, there we have it. These are super slippery. Oh my God. Oh, I should not have done that.
Stop it. Get some help.
From the top down, I really like the way that they look. No, it looks like a smart shoe, but then it also doesn't from the top down. I think you can get good ones, but I'm a little bit surprised at how much I'm not hating them. They're probably not going to be the most comfortable shoes you've ever put on, but I think if you're someone like me who doesn't dress smart very often, this could be a nice little step to kind of, I don't know, looking a little bit more smart, and at least it makes it look like I'm putting some effort into my outfits. Honestly, I don't mind this trend. I think it's a nice little evolution. I'm actually shocked because I thought I was gonna hate this, but I think I could make these look all right. So I'm gonna give these a pass. Next up, we're getting weird because it's the sneaker loafer with well over 1 million views. This idea, probably even more simple, just a little bit more bizarre, but it's basically make a loafer but from sneaker materials. Now this right here has to be the most popular from this trend. This is the New Balance 1906L, L standing for loafer. But there is a ton of different brands all offering their own version of a sneaker loafer, Hoka and Mizuno most recently. Now these cost $160, so not that cheap. Now, one interesting thing is that this trend of the sneaker loafer kind of exploded at the beginning of the year. And dare I say, but it kind of seems like they're already kind of dying off. Like, I hardly see anybody actually wearing this pair of shoes or kind of taking it seriously. Now, they do keep on selling out, so obviously some people are wearing them. And New Balance keeps on making new colorways, so clearly there's a demand. So maybe time will tell if this is just a gimmick, but of course we need to figure that out. So let's go try these things on. Oh, good Lord, it's the sneaker loafer. Now, I actually did test these things out in one of the other videos, except it wasn't my size. It was like super small and it was a bit of an awkward color. I think this is probably the best shot that I can give this pair of shoes. It's a nice colorway. Everything is aligned. It's my size. So let's see if these are worth it or not. Right, to give these the best possible chance, I threw on some tailored pants. So these are definitely the smartest pants that I own. And this is kind of like the smarter look with these. These are definitely a lot more slim, so maybe you wouldn't wear a t-shirt with it. But still, you know, I've got the bottom covered and it just looks like I'm wearing fancy pants or smarter pants with sneakers. Like, that's kind of the barrier. Let me try on some pants that are a little bit more casual. Gray pants, gray shoes. I just don't see the value in this trend. There's sneakers and there's loafers, and I feel like merging the two is just It's just a little bit strange. Like, obviously, it'll be a nice little gimmick to be like, oh, cool, those are loafers, but they're also sneakers. But I don't think it's going to be something that you're gonna wear that often. Like, at the end of the day, I don't think these do the job of a sneaker very well because they kind of slip. There's like a lot of heel slip going on here, you know, like when I'm walking around. And then I don't think they do the job of a loafer very well because if you actually try to dress them up like you would a loafer, they still just look like sneakers. In my opinion, this is gonna be gone, and I don't think it's a great trend. I think just get a pair of loafers or get a pair of sneakers. Next up, we're getting pretty massive because it's Mules with well over 10 million views. Now, this trend is so big that there is so many different variations and versions of mules. Brands are creating sneaker mules now, just literally removing the laces and just taking the back off. You've got slide mules and even Timberland mules.
Oh my God, what is that?
Now, I own a couple different mule variations, but I think for this test, we need to go to the original, the Birkenstock, which neither of these are. I don't actually have a pair of Birkenstocks, just obviously the rip-off ones. It almost seems like every brand has some kind of rip-off Birkenstock. I don't think they ever patented the design, so yeah, you get a lot of stuff like this. Not entirely sure where this trend started. It's so big now, but I kind of would assume that it happened around lockdown when everybody kind of was trying to get cozy. It just grew since then into the behemoth that we know today. Price for this trend, you're looking at about $100 to $200 depending on what type. It can range pretty significantly. Either way, let's see what kind of gasoline this trend has. Time for mules. Look at me in these mules. I honestly, this is great. This is a great trend. I'm comfortable right now. They're nice. I mean, this Birkenstock style is not the most comfortable because it's pretty solid, but it's got a wide toe box, which means it's good for my feet. It kind of looks a little bit more sophisticated than like, you know, a pair of like foam shoes. So you can wear them with shorts, you can wear them with sweatpants, you can even wear them with jeans, and it looks pretty good. Try on my Kanye Bear ones. Look at this. You can even find mules that are really funky like this. This is nice. This trend gets a very big thumbs up. I think we need more mules. In fact, this needs to be a bigger trend. Like, look at this. Let's say I need to leave the house. Imagine there's a door over there. Look at this. Whoop, whoop. Open the door. Oh, cool. And I'm out. Easy. And I'm cozy and I'm moving. Great trend. Oof, this next one is gonna be a tough one. It's ballerina sneakers with over 45 million views. I don't know how we got here, but ballerina shoes are popping off. And no, this is not a woman-specific trend either. Right here is the Bad Bunny collaboration offered in any size you want. Now, this pair specifically costs $120, but as like usual, it will range depending on what version you want. This is definitely the most popular one out of the trend, the sneaker ballerina trend, but of course, a bunch of other brands all offer similar things. Now, this trend definitely started on TikTok. However, I do think that the overarching trend of people wanting more lower profile slim shoes definitely led to this. Now, from what I understand, ballet shoes are kind of like climbing shoes in that you need to kind of scrunch your foot, really crumple it up and put it into these smaller silhouettes. So hopefully with the ballerina style shoes, it's not actually like that, but we gotta try them out. I honestly don't even know what to wear with these things. And also, I'm looking at it and they are so narrow. Like, look at the toe box difference between a pair of mules that I have exactly the same size and then these things. Like, they're just so slim. Like, how is my foot going to cram into these things? Right, well, ain't nothing but to do it, so I might just throw on some jeans. If you're ever wondering how to figure out if you like a pair of shoes or not, just throw on a standard pair of jeans. All right, let's see how hard these things are to get on. Oh, not as bad as I thought. They do have a little bit of elastication on the top, which is nice. Not as tight as I thought. They're pretty, like, thin inside. Like, there's not a lot of padding. Wow. Well, I feel very low to the ground. Like, look at the outsole on these things. They're, you're gonna get a lot of dirt on this bottom part over here. It might even seep through because that is just fabric at the bottom. What do I think? They're actually not as bad as I thought they were going to be. They're pretty tight though, very, very like narrow at the top. I don't know if I would like my toes to be this constricted for an extended period of time. They don't look as bad as I thought, but they kind of just look like, almost like sock shoes with a bit of an outsole. I don't know why this is such a big trend, because it's kind of just like buy any other slim shoe and you're good. Honestly, I can't see this one lasting very long. I don't know if we'll see very many more ballerina style shoes. Who knows? But I'm gonna give this one kind of a mid to just, nah, we're good. This next one is huge right now. It is indoor football shoes with well over 100 million views. Now, this is the Nike Total 90 shoe, pretty reasonable price tag of just $100. Now, anybody who watches football or used to watch football will remember the Total 90 being a pretty flagship football shoe on the pitch. Players like Wayne Rooney used to wear them. And this trend of offering some kind of football shoe is almost across every single brand. Football in fashion right now has exploded. It is probably one of the biggest things. Most recently, Travis Scott jumped in. He's arguably the biggest thing in sneakers right now. He dropped a Barcelona collaboration, and those jerseys are reselling for thousands. But is this trend actually worth it? Is it going to die off? Let's find out. All right, we're just sticking with the jeans on this one. We've got indoor football boots. So yeah, people do just wear jeans. Sometimes you see them in jorts or stuff like that. But usually it's kind of mixing the active attire, like the shoes, with more just, you know, like actual normal daily wear. Don't know if I'm that big of a fan of the low profile thing. Like, it's not the worst, but you really just feel like you're walking on the ground. Right, here we go. Wow, these are actually a lot more uncomfortable than I thought they were gonna be. Like, the top really presses in. Yeah, it's a little bit, it's not bad, actually. It's not as bad as the ballerina ones, in my opinion. I don't mind the top-down view. It kind of looks all right. Like, you know, just looking at them, it does kind of look like a football shoe. You got a hell of a lot of grip, though, I'll tell you that. Like, I could just spontaneously, as I'm out and about, play football right now. Honestly, I think this one's pretty cool. Thumbs up. Okay, you guys know I couldn't do this video without this next one. This right here is the boots only summer trend with well over 200 million views. Now, boots only summer is a wild trend where people are basically wearing actual football boots, you know, the ones with the spikes, the actual cleats in casual outfits. So they're rocking them with jeans, with shorts, with sweatpants, and leaving the house. Now, this trend definitely started on TikTok, where people would basically take videos of themselves out and about wearing a pair of football boots with their casual attire. So you'd see them just set the camera up, step back, and they've got football boots, but they're also wearing a pair of jeans. I told you guys, football is massive right now. Now, boots can cost anywhere between like $100 to like $400. They range quite a lot, but I already own a pair, so let me tell you guys why this is so insane. It is time for this absolute atrocity of fashion. Now, this one I'm just coming straight out the gate, as if like I just don't understand how this is a thing. Football boots with casual attire. I'm saying like jeans, say like football shoes with jeans. Now, these are my actual boots that I play in. I hardly ever play anymore, but when I did, I've never done this in my life before. I've never put on football boots while in jeans. This is my first time in my life. Let's see. This is so bizarre. And they're so slippery. Like, this is actually a trend, I think, that is dangerous. This is so slippery. I could just imagine on like different floors, it's going to be super slippy because all you're walking on are these spikes. They compress your feet a lot. Like, look how narrow that is. Like, that's super narrow. This is a strange one. Look, these are pretty cool boots, but no, I think this is a weird trend. I would never personally walk out the house like this. There's no practical element. You've got football shoes that, you know, you've got shoes that do this without the spikes. Like, you're gonna walk around sounding like this? You're gonna wear down these spikes? God forbid you step on someone's toes. It's over. Yeah, this trend, massive thumbs down. This is gonna be gone. This is a weird one. I don't know how this even started. Decided, I don't know, Terrible. Next up, with just over 300 million views, we got the Army sneaker. This sneaker right here is called the Adidas BW Army, but this trend didn't really originate from this pair of shoes. It actually started with the Maison Margiela Gats, or replica. That shoe got so popular that it kind of brought back a resurgence, and now this is the affordable option from Adidas. But you will be surprised at how many brands offer something that looks so incredibly similar to this. Now, the Margiela replica sneaker is like $600-700 or something ridiculous. These, however, are a lot more reasonable at just $100. I can't tell you how insanely popular this pair of shoes is. It's carrying an entire trend on its back. Now, I will say it's not doing that alone. I think a lot of people kind of, came over from the Adidas Samba, a super popular shoe for the past 3 or 4 years now, and migrated to these things for some reason. I mean, they look incredibly similar. These maybe are just a little bit more simple without the 3 black stripes, but it's almost the same thing. Either way, first time I've ever had these things in hand, so let's see what the hype is all about. Next up, we got the Maison Margielas, or the Adidas version. Now, this trend is weird because it's like people really want this specific look, like the white with the gum bottom. Like, what is so special about it? I do not understand. I will say, for an Adidas shoe, these feel pretty damn premium. Like, they've got nice leather on them, they've got nice suede, so for $100 these are pretty nice. Right, also got my crazy pants with them. Not too bad in terms of comfort. Again, you're very low to the ground. You just got a thin strip of rubber underneath, so not much cushion. They're not uncomfortable. They're not super comfortable either. Do I understand it? Not really, because these do just kind of look like a basic shoe. Maybe that's it. Maybe people just want a basic shoe, something that you can wear all the time, in which case this is probably the most basic you can get, and it's not bad. It fits, the colors are nice, white, I like white shoes. But also there's like so many other basic shoes out there. Would you really want to buy this to kind of look like everyone else? I don't know. As far as like, if you like the look of these things, it's fine. They're not bad, but it's definitely not my favorite. I just don't understand the trend. Like, why this shoe? That's what's really stumping me. Like, the Adidas Samba, I can understand because it's like that look. This one is just, it's white and gum. What are we doing here? Kind of looks good with these pants, but yeah, I'm gonna give this one, again, a mid to it's solid because it's like, it's a nice shoe overall. There's just nothing that crazy about it, so I'm kind of not understanding the trend here, but there's nothing wrong with the shoe. In fact, for $100, it feels pretty damn good. But don't buy the Margiela ones. That's where I'm like, I'm out. That's a thumbs down. The $700-800 for this? Nah. Next up, we have hiking sneakers with 500 million views. Now, to be specific, this is the Solomon XT6, which arguably is like the poster child for this entire trend. Price on these is $180, which is pretty expensive, although this is like an actual performance hiking shoe, something that people would buy if they actually wanted to go to the mountains on the weekend and do a bit of hiking. And no, this trend is not because people suddenly took a liking to the great outdoors. It's actually people wearing these things casually. So, to the supermarket, to the coffee shop, they be rocking these. So this trend, largely the overarching trend, is Gorpcore, which essentially is people wearing like technical gear casually. So they'll wear like waterproof jackets and waterproof pants. And then of course these. We got the Solomons, the hiking shoes. And to give this one a real fair shot, I got on some waterproof pants, so I look the part. Now, these are not hiking pants, they just happen to be waterproof, which is something that you would want if you were going hiking. We'll say the laces are really easy to do up. You just pull this cord and that is it. That's quite nice. Well, there we go. What do I think? I mean, they're definitely not uncomfortable. They feel pretty comfortable. There's a nice amount of squish on the bottom. Do I think that they look different enough? Like, you could probably get away with a retro runner in replacement of these. You'd be a little bit more comfortable and you achieve a similar look. So these do feel like a little bit extra. I don't know if I'm seeing that much benefit of these over a regular pair of retro runner shoes. But I mean, if you really like the look, they're not uncomfortable. They're kind of fine. I don't know. It's It's a little bit strange, but it's definitely not the strangest trend that we've seen. This one, I'm gonna say it's kind of fine. They're comfortable. They don't look bad at all. They do remind me a lot of a retro runner. So this trend gets a middle to thumbs up. They're pretty comfortable. But the single biggest sneaker trend right now with well over 1 billion views, could be a whole lot more, it's running shoes. Now this one's a little bit different to the other ones because it's just so big and it's so accessible to so many people. The trend also has multiple layers to it. So there's a bunch of different fires lighting it up from different angles. So the first one is running as a hobby has become insanely popular. You've probably seen over the past few months your favorite creator, no matter what niche they're in, tech or fashion, they're all out posting their Strava runs onto their stories and starting up the hobby. Run clubs have become super popular, a bunch of people joining them. And at the same time of this trend going on, people are also looking towards running shoes to wear casually. The general interest of people has been towards more comfortable shoes, and there's just no easy way to say it, but comfortable, soft running shoes just really fill that gap. That's largely why brands like Hoka and On Cloud have just exploded recently. Now, you could also add retro running shoes into this trend, but I won't, because then that'll just mean that this is just infinite billions of views and it'll be too much to cover. So let's focus on this. Running shoes. Now, this is a trend I can get behind. And I say that without even putting these things on my feet. So I've actually been a huge fan of the whole running shoe trend because I love me some comfortable shoes. And these ones are my favorite. They're the Adidas Evo SLs. And as you see, like, you can literally just step into them and then they're on. So this is kind of like something that a lot of brands have been doing now. Adidas specifically marketed this shoe as like a casual hybrid, something you could run in, but something you can also rock with your casual outfits. And these things do it perfectly. Like, look at me in shorts. Imagine I'm running, going out for a run today, going to the gym. Looks fine, right? And then I can also throw on a pair of pants. Boom, I'm cozy and I look good. Like, this is a very versatile pair of shoes, but that's what I like about the whole running shoe trend. If you want to be in these things, you know, you've got a long day going out shopping, going out for a walk because it's sunny outside, I don't know, running errands, going to the gym. These things are perfect. Like, I could walk around like this all the time. So I see the running trend. I think it makes perfect sense. People want to be comfortable. Running shoes do that. And even the running trend itself, I mean, it gets people active. So that's kind of good. It's healthy. So overall, this is the trend I think makes the most sense. Big thumbs up, and big thumbs up to these shoes as well. But there you have it, guys. Those are all of the most viral shoes on the internet. Let me know if you have tried out any of these crazy trends, especially this one. Let me know what you think of sneaker trends in general. Are they ever worth buying into or not? Let me know what you think about these ones. And of course, if you want to catch another video, I'll put one in both corners. How about that?